Okay, so now let's work this problem by hand. So first things first, we write the augmented matrix. So we have 1, 1, 4, 1, 1.3. And then minus 1, 1, and then minus 1, 0, 1.1. Then we have a 2, a 0, a 1, a 3, and a negative 4.4. And then a 2, a 5, 11, 3, and 5.6. So this is our starting point. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take row one plus row two. And that's going to be my new row two. I'm going to make a minus two row one plus row three, and that's my new row three. And also minus two row one plus row four, and that's my new row four. Okay. So going with that, we have 1, 1, 4, 1, 1.3. And then we have a 0, a 2, a 3, a 1, 2.4. And here we have a 0, a minus 2, minus 7, 1, and minus 7. And then we have a 0, a 3, a 3, a 1, and a 3. Okay. So next thing, we need to make this a 1 and everything below it a 0. So if we take 1/2 row 2 and make that the new row 2, that'll work. We can take row 2 plus row 3, and that's the new row 3. And as much as I don't like to, we could also do a minus 3/2 times row 2 plus row 4, and that's going to be our new row 4. All right, so now what do we have? All right, so we have a 1, a 1, a 4, a 1, and that was still 1.3. And then we have a 0, a 1, a 3/2, a 1/2, and that's going to be 1.2. And then we have a 0, a minus 4, a 2, and a minus 4.6. And then we have a 0, a minus 3/2, minus 1/2, and then it looks like a minus 1/5, I think. Yeah. All right, so now what do I want to do? Now I need to make this a 1. So I'm going to take a minus 1/4 row 3 and make that the new row 3. And that's all I'm going to do with that because then it gets complicated with fractions more. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And so that has a 1, a 1, a 4, a 1, and a 1.3. And we have a 0, a 1, a 3/2, a 1/2, a 1.2. We have a 0, and then we have a 1. And so then after that we have what, a minus 1/2. And then we have divided by 4, so that's going to be 46 over 10. And so divided by 4, so that's going to be what, 23 over 20? And then we have a 0, a minus 3/2, minus 1/2, and minus, uh, wait a minute, is that right? Minus 3/2, so that's going to be minus 21/2, and that's going to be 6. This should be 3/5, I think. Yeah, 3/5. All right, so minus 3/2 make, okay. And so then we do that one, and that's going to be a minus 3/5 again. All right. Now we're going to take 3/2 times row 3, put the right row number, plus row 4, and that's going to be our new row 4. All right, so let's scroll over. Next page. And first rows are the same. So that was a 1, a 1, a 4, a 1, and a 1.3. And then we had a 0, a 1, a 3/2, a 1/2, and a 1.2. And then we had a 0, a 1, a minus 1/2, and a 23 over 20. And let's go a little bit further. And now we have a 0, a 0, a 0. And it looks to be a 5/4 if I do the math there, and it's a negative. And this is going to be 9/8. Okay, so now we need to multiply this by the reciprocal to get a 1 here. So that's going to be multiplied by -4/5 row 4 to the row 4. And so now we have a 1, a 1, a 4, a 1, a 1.3, a 0, a 1, a 3/2, a 1/2, 1.2, 0, 0, 1 minus 1/2, 23/20. Excuse me, 0, 0, 0, 1. And then multiplying that, that's going to be 2, so that's going to be -9/10. All right. Okay, so now we have to go make those zeros. So we're going to take a 1/2 row 4 plus row 3, and that's going to be our new row 3. We're going to take a -1/2 row 4 plus row 2, and that's going to be our new row 2. We're going to take a minus row 4 plus row 1, and that's going to be our new row 1. All right, so now we have a 1, a 1, a 4, that becomes 0. And so 9/10 and 13/10. So that's going to be what, 11/5? And that's going to be a 0. And then that's going to be a 1. That's going to be still 3/2. That better be 0. And then we have 1.2, so 12/10. And that, so that should be what, 33 20ths, I think. And then we have a 0, a 0, a 1, better be a 0. And that's going to be 7/10. And our last row is 0, 0, 0, 1, and -9/10. Okay. All right, so now we need to make those two to be 0. So I'm going to take a -3/2 row 3 plus row 4, or not row 4, row 2 rather. That's our new row 2. And I'm going to take a -4 row 3 plus row 1, and that's going to be my new row 1. All right, so now we have a 1, 0, 0. And so now we're taking -3/2, so that looks like to be what, -3/5. And then we have a 0, a 1. That better be 0, a 0. And that looks to be +3/5. And then we have 0, 0, 1, 0, and that's 7/10. And we had 0, 0, 0, 1, and a -9/10. And then now we just take a minus row 2 plus row 1, and that's our new row 1. And so hopefully we can get all that on here. So 1, 0, 0, 0, and then -3/5, 0, 1, 0, 0, 3/5, and 0, 0, 1, 0, 7/10, and 0, 0, 0, 1, -9/10. And so we get x1 is equal to a -3/5, x2 equals a +3/5, x3 equals a 7/10, and an x4 equals a -9/10. So if we go back to what we did in the calculator, let's see here. Let's see if it's still on. We had a -6/5, 3/5. Did I have a 6/5? What did I do? That's the wrong number. Did I not add it together? Oh, minus that plus that. That's what I didn't do. I just copied it down. All right, so there we go. There we go. At 6/5, 6/5. All right, so now we have that. And so now if we go back over here, we get the -6/5, 3/5, 7/10, -9/10. And so we do match. So obviously, 2 pages of work to get it, or we did it really simply on our calculator, but both ways we get the same answer. All right, so let's come back for another one.